What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey back again here for another video. Today we're going to be looking at another player for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and that is Pontus Holmberg. We're continuing the Toronto Maple Leafs season previews for the 2024-2025 season. So if you're new here and you love the Maple Leafs, you want to stick around, you want to see more from me, make sure to like this video and subscribe. I'd love to have you guys here. Join the squad. We have a lot of fun here talking Maple Leafs. But like I said, continuing these player previews, this has been a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this. We've got lots more to come, of course, as you know. And go and find your favorite players on the channel if you're watching this right at the beginning of the season. See what I think, and I want to see what you guys think, so sound off in the comments. But let's get right into it. Pontus Holmberg, he's 25 years old, so fits into that age range that the Maple Leafs are trying to go for, have that mix of young talent mixed in with some of the veterans. And the first thing that sticks out to me is that his playoff numbers, and we'll get back to that in a second from the previous year. But Pontus Holmberg is a guy that kind of came out of nowhere a little bit. I know he was a prospect that some people were really interested in. I know Steve Dangle was a guy that was always big on Pontus Holmberg, but his original season with the Maple Leafs, he had 13 points in 37 games played, and then he had 17 points in 54 games played. And he was just a guy that kind of, you know, I wouldn't say got mixed in the shuffle, but he's a guy that hasn't really broken out. He hasn't shown everything that he's capable of, in my opinion, and it's a guy that he played really well for the Marlies as well. This is a player that showed out for the Marlies and deserved a promotion into the NHL. And for me, I like Pontus Holmberg. I think that he adds an element to your defensive side of the game a little bit. He knows how to play on both sides of the puck. He's not a short guy. He's 6 foot tall, almost 200 pounds. He's at, like, I think 187, 190, and he's still a young guy. And with the Maple Leafs this year, and it's something that I'm going to be talking about a lot in this video, in these videos, and I'm sure you've heard it so far already, is that the Leafs' bottom six hasn't really been addressed that well. It still hasn't been fixed, in my opinion. It hasn't been worked on enough. It hasn't been the focus that it should have been going into this offseason to try to get more depth, to try to get more players that can score in that bottom six. So it looks like the Maple Leafs and their management staff is relying on some of these younger forwards to come in and play well and take spots. And Nick Robertson not signing doesn't help that. So you're going to need to see other guys step up. And we're talking about the Holmbergs, like I'm talking about in this video. You're talking about a Steves who's with the Marlies. You're talking about a Fraser Minton who needs to push. You need to talk about Easton Cowan, who we've already made a video on. But Holmberg is an interesting one because if you look again at the contract, and I bring this up all the time, good teams find ways to get these young guys who are on cheap contracts playing really well and utilize them, because cheap players are hard to find now. And at $800,000, he's on the second year of his contract here. The Maple Leafs need to really utilize this guy and hope that he has a little bit of a breakout in the bottom six for this team. Because if we look at this roster, Holmberg is kind of a guy that could be the odd man out if the Maple Leafs were to make another move, because I don't think Reeves is going to be out of the lineup very much under Craig Berube. David Kampf, he's a guy that I could see sitting sometimes, but he is valuable and his contract is quite expensive. Connor Dewar and Holmberg are two guys that could be interchangeable pieces. So this is a year, especially going into another RFA year, that he needs to try to maximize the potential of getting a little bit of a raise, getting over that $1 million, and maybe even pushing towards $2 million if he has a breakout season. Holmberg needs to show out. Like, we need to see what Pontus Holmberg is about this season. We need to see if he's more than just a guy that you can move around from the center and wing position, because he does play both, which is good also. That does help him when it comes to staying in the lineup. We need to see if this guy is about it. We need to see if this guy has the opportunity to be a contributor in that bottom six, maybe even on the penalty kill, getting a couple cracks at the second power play unit out front of the net, or just taking draws. we need to see if that's something that he can unlock this season. And I'm very, very excited for the Maple Leafs bottom six this year in terms of the fact that there is that chance that the young guys can come in there and prove that the Leafs were right to not make a ton of moves for their bottom six in the offseason, but to allow them to grow and to allow them to be very, very good and allow them to take that next step in their career. But if they don't do that, then the Leafs management is not going to look so good. These players are not going to look so good because they're going to end up losing jobs to younger talent or potentially being lost in a trade that would bring in guys that can produce for that bottom six. Because there is a lot of guys within the Marley system that could be bottom six guys that could take spots from Holmberg if he has a bit of a bad stretch. So you can't just get comfortable. And I'm sure he's not. I'm sure he's thinking, look, I got to win a spot here. I got to be as good as possible to win over the fans, to win over management. So I want you guys to sound off down below. I want you guys to let me know what you think of Pontus Holmberg and what he could do this offseason and the beginning of this season to improve his game. What do you think his workouts have been like? What do you think he's been doing to make this team, to make him a better player? Because there's a chance out of camp that he could lose his spot. It's very possible. So I want to hear what you guys think. Make sure to like this video and subscribe if you're a Maple Leaf fan. If you guys are new here, just make sure to stick around. We have so much fun talking Leafs. Get ready for the season with these player previews. Lots more stuff, news, trade talk, everything is coming. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video or stream. Peace.